Hi, I'm Amir Ghandar from Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand. I'm very pleased today to be joined by Tom Seidenstein and Fiona Campbell from the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. Today we're going to talk a little bit about that organisation and some of the key things that are on the table. And Tom, if I can start with, you've moved into the chair role at the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board last year. What was it that inspired you about that role and continues to excite you, and what are you hoping to achieve over the next few years?
Well, first of all, it's great to be here. I love being in Australia. It's been some time since I've been here, but Australia makes such an important contribution to the world of financial reporting. We always say that Australia punches well above its weight in terms of its impact and financial reporting. But for me, I've had a consistent strand in my professional life, is that I'm really attracted to roles where you can have a positive impact on the functioning markets. So this isn't my first go around in standard setting. I joined what became the IFRS Foundation and IAASB nearly 20 years ago, and I was the Chief Operating Officer there for 11 years. And then at the height of the financial crisis, I went back to the United States and worked at Fannie Mae, where I was head of strategy and then ultimately innovation and capital management as well. And that company was really at the heart of fixing what was wrong with the housing market and trying to be a positive force in that. And then today, I think I'm really continuing that role in terms of having a positive impact in the way markets work because I think the audit profession is absolutely essential, and essential for instilling and enhancing trust in the way the economy works. So that's really what motivates me. What we want to accomplish, and I think what will be judged, is if people have greater confidence in external reporting on a going forward basis. And by doing so, we're able to attract new professionals who are inspired to work in the public interest and play a positive role.
Thank you. It's certainly very relevant in our public conversation here in Australia right now. And Fiona, I think you joined as a board member in 2015, is that right? And then stepped up to the deputy chair role last year. What have you seen changing over that time, and would you mark off some key achievements, and where do you think the focus needs to be going forward?
So I've seen a lot of change, and I think it's reflective of society in general as well. The pace of access to information is continuing to speed up. The pace of people wanting to respond to questions and queries is obviously wanting to speed up as well. And therefore our stakeholders are wanting us to work faster, be more agile, think differently about how we write standards, and how people may consume those standards is changing as well. So I think in the 5 years, that's probably the key things that I have seen really ramp up or speed up. And a lot of passion as well in standard setting, and not just for the standards themselves, but we are part of an ecosystem of ensuring quality audits, for example, and supporting the capital markets around the world. So how do we make sure we play the right part in that? And many conversations happening in many jurisdictions at the moment, not just in Australia and the UK, but lots of other places as well. And what part do we need to play to make sure that quality audits are still being performed, and there is still that the trust in the product that we have. In the 5 years that I've been on the board, we ticked off a few, I'll call them reasonably simple things at the start when I first came on. Some of the 800 series around special purpose reporting, which was a bit of a flow-on effect from some of the other changes that have been made around auditor reporting more broadly. And then we moved into a range of items. One of the key ones that came out was an invitation to comment, and that's really set the agenda for what we've been working on for certainly the last 4 years. So things like group audits, so ISO 600, the suite of quality management standards being ISO 220, ISQM 1, ISQM 2 now, which was the old ISQC 1. So those sorts of standards, agreed upon procedures, ISO 315, which is a foundational one for risk assessments. All of these came out of that invitation to comment around, what are the key things that we as a standard setter really need to be focused on. We're getting towards the end of having, got through that massive workload. There's still more to do, of course.